All right, you guys, happy Tuesday. Welcome to another subscriber first wholesale deal interview. I'm going to have you guys our special guest today. He just recently closed his first wholesale deal, made 5Gs on October 3rd, 2018. He's in the Bay Area, California. So I'm bringing, typically I do these kind of interviews to share with you guys that anybody can do this. All it takes is commitment and dedication, and obviously the hard work you have to put into it. But before we jump into, I'm going to have him share with you guys his story, how he started, how he got into wholesaling, all of that. But for those of you, I'm going to be a little selfish and start me off first. For those of you who haven't followed me on Instagram, follow me on IG. Go to Khang.WTM. Follow me on IG. So let's help me welcome my man, Manny. What up, buddy?
Yo, what up, Khang, man? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. Hey, thank you so much for taking the time to jump on. We have a little technical difficulty at the beginning, but I'm glad that we're able to work it out, man.
Yeah, no worries. It's an honor to be here, man. Thanks for the invite.
Well, first of all, Manny, I want to say congrats, man. That's super awesome. Let's jump right into it. Share with people kind of like a little bit of your background, how you started, and then how you were able to transition into wholesaling.
Okay. Well, my background has nothing to do with real estate. I'm here in California, so, my background is cannabis, to be honest. I was in the cannabis industry before I even jumped into trying to wholesale. But kind of how I got into wholesaling was, the laws out here started changing. So, the whole things with cannabis, numbers, everything started changing. So I started seeing a shift on the whole, how the business works. So I was already starting to look for other ways to, make money. And one day I was listening to the Breakfast Club, and I heard this guy called Mark Wittens, and he started talking about wholesaling. So when he just went in about wholesaling, I was glued. And that's kind of how it started for me. Ever since that, I kind of just been obsessed with it. And I just went all for it. I was like, man, this is it for me. I just started listening to you. I listened to Max. I went to like little seminars around my city. And the more, like I said, the more I just learned about wholesaling, the more obsessed I became with it. And I was like, this is what I have to do. And just went for it.
So, Manny, if you don't mind me asking, when did you initially got exposed to wholesaling? I know you heard on the Breakfast Club, but when was that?
All this started around
May of 2018?
No. You know what? April, because May 20th is when I went to a seminar, and I just won't get that day because that's when I decided that I was going to go all for it. I was going to study for the next few months and just get comfortable with, just understanding wholesaling. And I was like, I'm
gotcha, man. So basically you discovered wholesaling through the Breakfast Club radio station back in April. Now, if you don't mind, Manny, what were you doing at the time? Or even right now? Like what's your job?
Like I was doing cannabis. That's all I did was pretty much
I don't know what
cannabis.
that is.
But cannabis is the marijuana industry. I'm in California, yeah. So cannabis is, we're like the trendsetters for cannabis in the whole United States. It's been legal out. People have been having cannabis cars out here since 1998. So it's been a thing out here for some time. But anyways, I took some losses in that industry. And I figured out that, a lot of people think that it's just, it's an easy market. You just get high or you just work or you just chill, right? But it's nothing like that. It's actually a lot of work, a lot of dedication, a lot of money that goes into this. And it's almost like a rehab. You put money into a project, you buy your grow lights, you buy all this stuff, and you got to let the plant grow for over 90 days before you even cut anything down. Then you got to dry it and et cetera, et cetera. So then it was just the risk. Like I said, I took some loss. I didn't like the risk. It was hard to find reliable people that I could really work with. I just didn't find too much value in what I was doing. And when I started learning more about wholesaling, I knew that there was a value to that. You're helping people. I've personally known people that have lost their homes in the market crash back in 2008 and 9. So yeah, that's what kind of made me get more into wholesaling. The more I got into it, I started understanding the value to it. And I was like, man, I love it. And now that I've actually done it and actually helped people out, I've actually got compliments of people like, hey, thanks for helping me out, or thanks for the information, and I love it. Yeah.
Good, man. So, I'm just gonna give I'm gonna give this guy a shout out. His name is Luis Ontivero. I don't know if you heard of him, but he came from, I would say, not similar. Like he got into trouble with the laws. I mean, the guy's story is absolutely amazing. Came over from Mexico, got on the wrong side of life, and actually went to jail for like I think a year. Came back out, found God, came back out, turned his life around. Now he's wholesaling and making 700 G's a month.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Wow. Impressive. I mean, if you want to do better for yourself, I mean, sky's the limit. Yep. And wholesaling for anyone that's an entrepreneur and, wants to set high goals in life, this is the perfect business. Sky's the limit.
Awesome, man. So, Manny, let's jump onto your first wholesale deal, man. Kind of share with us kind of like the whole story, how you found the deal, the sellers, the buyers, etc., like the whole process.
Okay, so I started doing direct mail, and I was getting some feedback, and I kind of was all over the place at first. I did a little bit of bandit signs. I would get on Craigslist. I would get on Zillow and do like for sale by owners, even Craigslist do for sale by owners. And my first deal actually was funny. I went to my mother-in-law's house one day and she got a postcard from a wholesaler. And I was like, but she was like, I don't want to sell my house. She was like, I don't know why they're sending me this stuff. And I was like, oh, no worries, I'll take this postcard. So I stepped outside and I actually gave him a call. And then I introduced myself. We had a little conversation, and in a matter of, before that night was over, he had sent me a property he had under contract. And the week before that, I actually had a house under contract, but it fell off of escrow. So I was a little bummed out. I was like, oh, man. But, so, I had a motivated buyer. He was like, man, find me something else. So as soon as this property fell into my hands, I presented to him, and he was like, man, let's do it. And this buyer that I'm working with, because I'm out here in California, to be honest, it's kind of rough out here. The price points are pretty high. It's super competitive, to be honest. So a lot of people that I was talking to right from the beginning, they would ask me, well, what kind of deposit can you bring to the table? So I was already getting a little discouraged, like, man, I don't have money. Like, people say, you need money to wholesale, but I don't have money. So I started getting a little creative. I started listening to just, I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I remember I forgot who it was. I don't want to say the wrong person. But I remember I read someone said, try to use your buyer, like communicate, because your buyer could help you set up the deal. And he's the one that has the funds. So as long as you word it right, he could help you out. So pretty much the way I worded was he had to go make the earnest money deposit. So I told him, like, hey, look, I have this deal. I presented it to him, and I was like, but I need you to deposit 10 grand and go open up escrow. He was like, oh yeah, let's do it. So the next day he went up and he dropped the 10K, opened up escrow, and 10 days later, we were closing. I was like, yes. But what made it a little more, what that week was like super exciting for me, because at the same time, I didn't even know if this deal was going to go through. I just wanted to lock something up because I was already getting a little discouraged. I was like, man, is wholesaling really true? And I hear a lot of people like, it was just, speaking negative on especially agents on this side of town. So I was like, man, I think I'm better off becoming an agent. I was like, maybe this is not for me out here. So the property that I just mentioned that fell off of escrow, 2 days later after I went into escrow with this property, the guy called me back and he wanted to work something out. So we put some numbers together, and 2 days later I was in escrow with another property. So it was the one that fell off, and it actually went through. Right when I closed the one on October 3rd, on October 12th, I closed for the other one. I hit two of them almost back to back. So I was like, yes.
Dang, man. Dude, congrats. So Manny, I'm a little confused, so I'm going to ask you a couple of questions here really quick. So was it a co-wholesale deal?
So
First one.
one of them was through a wholesale guy,
Yeah.
and the other one was a for sale by
Gotcha.
owner.
So I want to talk about the first deal that you made was the 5K closed on October 3rd. So that was a co-wholesale deal, right? Some wholesaler got under contract. You connect with.
Yeah, he had it under contract, and pretty much the way I found him, he had sent my mother-in-law a postcard, and I just gave him a call. He already had something under contract.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So basically, this is a co-wholesale deal. So another wholesaler got a lock under contract. You, your mother-in-law received a postcard. You guys connected, and then you gave him a call, chat with him. He's looking for buyers, and you brought the buyers to the table, right? Gotcha. Correct. So I suppose the deal was the total fee was a 10K deal. Gotcha.
Yeah. Well, they were both. If you add them up, 10K, but they were both
right.
5.
But basically, you and the other wholesaler had to split, right? You guys split 50-50?
Well, no, because when we went to the close, when it was time to close, I saw what he made, and he made something really nice. He actually made 45K. But it was my first deal, and it was a lesson learned. I wish I would have negotiated a little better, but you live and you learn. Now I know. Next time he presents me a deal, I'm gonna work him a little more.
That's right, man. The biggest thing is just getting that first wholesale deal closed, right? So you can gain traction, gain confidence, and so you can kind of know the process. So you got the first, so 5K. Now, how did that wholesaler found that property? Do you know? Okay. Do you know, was it letter or postcard?
He said he was sending
postcard. Perfect. Okay. And now, when you brought the buyer to the table, obviously you guys got to set up the showing. Did your buyer went and actually did a walkthrough on the property, or did the buyer buy it sight unseen?
He did go check it out. He kind of just did a little drive-by, and he was familiar with the area. So as soon as he saw it, he was like, "Yeah, I need this." And he didn't hesitate. Wow.
So basically the buyer bought the property just by driving by.
Yeah.
Didn't need to go.
I mean, because he's invested in that area.
Sure.
So he already knew what he was getting himself.
Oh, nice, man. So basically this buyer here, this is the kind of buyers that you guys want, right? It's that there's buyers that don't buy, there's buyers that buy sight unseen. There's buyers, Manny, we lost you. Okay. There's buyers that only needs to drive by the property and they can pull the trigger. There's buyers that has to go inside and walk through and inspect the property and all that. But these are the kind of buyers that you guys want to get on your list because they can buy sight unseen. They can just do a quick drive-by and they can pull the trigger like that. So basically the buyers just did a drive-by. Now the property, Manny, is it vacant, occupied, or is it rented?
It was occupied at the moment, but by the time we closed, it was vacant.
Okay. Occupied, is it rented or the seller lived there?
No, it was the owner.
Cool. And now let's go over the number really quick. What did you estimate or I guess what's the other wholesaler set the ARV is?
The ARV was set at, sorry, I've been looking at so many.
I understand.
It was, I believe it was in the low
sixes. Low six. And what do you guys figure the rehab?
On the rehab, he was 40K.
40K.
It's like about.
And what was the wholesale price? 330. Okay.
Yeah.
And 330 was the wholesale price. 40K in rehab, ARV 600. The number looks good, man. Yeah, the number looks good. Now, how many bedroom and bathroom is that house? You know?
That was a 3-1.
And do you know the square foot?
It was pretty. It wasn't more than
1,200 square feet. Okay, that seems to be about right. 40K for a rehab. 1,200. It probably could be between 40 to 50, but the numbers looks really good. Now, how did you? No. Go ahead, Manny. You gonna say something?
Oh yeah. No, I said the house was actually in really good condition. He really didn't need to do too much work. Pretty much, if he wanted to get the ARV price, he just had to put nice appliances on the place. Oh yeah.
Nice, man. So Manny, how do you come in contact with these buyers?
So with buyers, one thing I do is I reach out to agents because they work with investors. So, less work I have to do. I mean, I just talk to them and actually, and kind of like what I pitch to them is like, you help me because I always offer them something for bringing me the buyer. I offer them at least 20% of my earnings. And then the way they benefit is they get to list a property for market value. So that's always a win-win situation for them. And another thing that I've been doing lately is I've been going to meetups. And that's where I've been actually meeting a lot of more buyers. And but agents and meetups is where I've kind of been hitting up. And I'm about to hit up the auctions pretty much.
Smart, man. Week, so nice. So you found this buyer through an agent?
Yeah, okay. Through an agent.
Now, everybody probably would want to know this. Is that, do you guys have to pay that agent a fee?
I'm going to be honest. He didn't want nothing because he told me, he was like, oh, I don't care. He was like, I'm going to list this price. I'm going to list this property back for market value when it's done. And, he knows the potential. And I told him like, yeah, I was like, well, look, I was like, how about this? I was like, I want you, when I present you a property, I don't want you to look at it and be like, hey, I'll send it on my time. Like, I want you to know that every time you deal with me, you're making more commission. So you get a commission off of me listing it. And if you're a badass, then, you make the third commission when you sell the property. So, when I send you something, I want you to get on it fast. I don't want you to be like, oh, it's something that Manny sent me. I'll send it tomorrow. So it's just to kind of motivate the agent, let them know that, there's money involved.
Nice, man. The hustle communication, man. Love it. So let me tell you guys something. Those of you who are asking questions, Khang, well, if an agent bring you a deal, if an agent bring you a buyer, who paid for the agents? The best answer is always ask the agent. Just like Manny here, I have done a deal with agents where they don't want us to pay them any fee. The reason why is because they're thinking about the end goal is they want to get that property for their investor, for their buyer, because they want to keep the relationship with that buyer, and they're thinking about the back end where they list the property. So instead of worry about your commission on $100,000 property, they're more worried about, hey, once it's done, they can list this property at $400,000 and make a commission on it instead of losing to you on another investor. Because a lot of times you guys got to understand, when you start building up your cash buyer and when you send it out and you have, like, let's just say another co-wholesaler that wants to wholesale your property, or another agent that wants to help you find a buyer, and if that co-wholesaler wants to split 50-50 with you, or whatever the amount is, X amount, but if you have another buyer that comes in and you don't have to pay that fee, you would rather go with the other buyer. And some of them, some co-wholesaler or agents, that's what they're worried about, because they don't want to lose out on that deal, because they're afraid that because you have to pay them some kind of a fee and maybe your margin is not there, or maybe it's something that you don't want to because you might have another buyer where you don't have to pay anybody anything and you can collect your whole entire assignment fee. So that's the reason why agents sometimes they don't want anything from you. Some agent does want their commission. Some agents does want, 1%, 2%, 3%, or X amount. But I'm telling you guys is that you just need to ask them. And a lot of times, just like Manny here, and I've done it multiple times where agents said, Khang, I'm not worried about it. I just want you to keep on sending me deals because I want to keep that relationship with my end buyer, because I want them to keep, getting property so they can fix and flip and relist it with me. All right, you guys? So Manny, so now you're connecting with agents. You go into meetup.com, is that correct? Nice, yeah, man. Meetup. And then you're hitting up the auctions for a cash buyer?
Yep, cash buyers. Hopefully I'm looking to land some guys that are trying to buy and hold properties.
That's right, man. You guys, auctions. So if you guys go to the Courthouse auction steps, that's where you can also find your buyers. These guys are ready to pull the trigger. They bought property sight unseen. So that's a good way to go and start building up your cash buyers list as well. Man, those are some great information, Manny. Now,
Thank you.
yeah, man. So you guys, now if I use the formula, so if the ARV is 600, I think the wholesaler, if all the numbers correct, Manny, if all the numbers correct, I don't know if, so here's something where I think that you could possibly do in the future, or this wholesaler seems to leave a little bit of money on the table. So if I were to use the formula, and in the Bay Area, I know in the Bay Area it's so competitive because I have a buddy there that does the whole fix and flip. The Bay Area is so competitive, and the market there, anything you get on a good deal, it goes like that. All right, you guys, and especially in today's market. So if I use the formula, 600,000 minus 30%, that's the rules. That put us down at 420, minus the rehab, which Manny said about 40. That put us at 380. So which means this buyer probably willing to pay, if all the number makes sense, this buyer would buy that property for 380K. So the wholesaler sent it out to his buyer for 330,000. So he's leaving 50K on the table. So
Yep.
So Manny, if
Lesson.
what's that?
Lesson learned.
Yeah, hey, no problem, man. So Manny, if you know now, let me ask you then. Instead of me saying stuff, let me ask you a question, Manny. If this deal comes to you again, let's just say if let's just say me, if I were to bring this deal to you again, Manny, and if all the numbers were exactly like this, what would you do?
I mean, I would definitely up my assignment fee, that's for sure. Because, I mean, even after I closed, I was telling myself, like, oh, man, I should have threw at least 15, 20 grand in there. But I don't know. It was just the whole trying to get your first deal.
Sure.
You know, I was like, I got to get something tied up. And I didn't know, like, two deals came at the same time. And I put 5 on them because I was like, if one doesn't go through, the other one should go through. But they both came through. So now I'm like, But now I know because on the other one, I could have made more money too, to be honest. But I mean, once again, I was just testing the water. It's something new. I've never done this in my life. And now I know better.
No problem. Manny, if I were you when I first started out, man, I would have done the exact same thing. It's just getting that first deal done. And so I would have done the exact same thing, man, because you just don't know anything else to do. You just want to get that first deal done. So Manny, here's kind of my opinion here. If next time if something comes like this, and you guys, this is coming down to knowing your market and knowing your buyers. So if you know your market, you know your buyers, this is what I would do. I would tie up the deal. I would tell the other wholesaler, hey, I got a partner that's going to buy this, man. We're going to buy from you for $330,000. What you're going to do is you tell him, you're going to take, basically what you're going to do is you're going to take on the $330,000. He just needs to send you an assignment agreement that he's going to sign it to you for $330,000. And on the assignment agreement, it's going to allow you to assign it over to another buyer. So you technically can lock it up with him for $330,000, send it to your partner. Your partner said, yep, $330,000, right? You can send to your buyer for $380K. So now it's an assignment on top of an assignment because the deal is just so sweet. So technically, you lock it up with that wholesaler for $330,000. You send to your buyer for $380,000. So your end buyer will bring $380,000 to the table, close on it. You get your $50K because that's the spread. He gets
that would be nice.
Yeah, man. He gets whatever he gets. And then the seller obviously get whatever they get, and the end buyer gets the property. But it all comes down to that. It's just knowing your market and knowing your buyer. So instead of coming, or you can tell your and I've done this different ways. I have co-wholesaler or other agents said, hey, Khang, you lock it up for $100K, man. That's what you're sending out. I got a buyers that I know that probably will buy for $120. So when I tell my buyers, it's going to be $120. So when we write up that assignment agreement, don't write it up for $100, write it up for $120 so I can get my $20K.
Okay.
So that's also something you can do. Instead of locking it up, just tell your co-wholesaler, hey, man, I brought my buyer, did a drive-by. I told him this deal here is going to be $350. So when you write up the assignment agreement, just write up at $350, and then you pay me the $20K. You get your $330 that you want. I get my $20K. The buyer's going to come in and buy it at $350.
Sounds like a deal. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, man.
Nice.
Yeah. So, anyways, I mean, on this here, dude, the Bay Area, I know it, man. So the Bay Area, you can probably get it like 20%. Buyers will probably come in and willing to pay 20% because I know the Bay Area is pretty hot, right?
Yeah, super hot, super hot. I mean, honestly, right now we're going like through a serious price adjustment. So there's certain counties where you're seeing a nice little price drop, but mainly like the Berkeley, Oakland, San Francisco is still pretty strong. Nice,
man. Let me see here. I think, earnest money. So earnest money now, because the wholesale coming from the other wholesaler, the seller wants you guys to put a $10K earnest money down?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not that they wanted to. I talked to my buyer, and I knew that since he liked the deal, I kind of had it, because I didn't give him the address. I just ran numbers through him. I told him the area it was in, and he was like, "Oh man, I know exactly where that area is." And I was like, I told him that what would he be willing to put in the table, so so they could, because he's not the only person that's interested in this property. He was like, "Well, call that guy and tell him that I'll give him $10K down right now, non-refundable if I don't close by etc. date." I was like, "Sounds good." They needed to close, I believe. I forgot the date, but it wasn't actually on the 3rd that he needed to close. I believe it was the 28th of September, and he agreed to it. But since his lender had wired the money on that date, they the wholesaler was, "It's okay, we're already moving forward. Why interfere anything?" So 3rd was we were supposed to close the 28th, but the 3rd is when everything actually closed.
Nice. So for those of you who are when Manny said lender, now don't freak out. It's not the bank. So a lot of buyers, they get private or they get hard money, and that's where their lending is coming in, hard money or private, and that's what Manny will mean by his lender is going to hard money. Yep. Typically it's hard money. Okay. So let me see here. So from the day that you set up with the buyer, pull the trigger, the buyer said, "I want it." How long did it took for that buyer to close? 10 days, you said?
It was from the day we went into paper. He was supposed to close the 28th, and it really took him like 15 days.
Nice. 15 days for $5K.
Yeah, lovely. Loved it.
Pretty good to me, man. Right?
What was that?
I said 15 days for $5K. That's pretty good to me, man.
Yeah, man. And I was like, now I just got to apply more pressure, and then hopefully one day I could make money like the big dogs, like people like you and other people out there doing it.
Stop it, man. I'm sure that you're going to get there. Manny, so let's wrap this up, man. For those that wants to connect with you in the Bay Area.
Okay, if you want to connect with me in the Bay Area, you could go on Facebook, and I have a company, Proper Property Solutions. You could reach out to me there, and yeah, that's pretty much the best place to reach me at.
Awesome. So just Facebook?
Yeah, Facebook.
All right. You guys, I'm going to make what's that?
No, I said anybody out here in the Bay Area, reach out. Let's network.
Awesome, man. So I'll make sure I put Manny Facebook link in the description. You guys can reach out to him. Manny, last word for anybody that are just, jumping in, starting, or maybe they're going at it for a while, but haven't closed their first wholesale deal, man. Shine some lights on them. Man,
don't give up. And one thing that Khang mentioned one time in an old episode, he was mentioning that he was like, you mentioned something about your accent, and that you didn't care, that you still kept going because you weren't gonna let that stop you. And that's just for anyone. Don't make up an excuse. Just do it. If you put actions, you will see results. And
Manny,
I had a call there. Yeah, just actions equals results. So yeah, don't give up.
Awesome, man. That's what you guys heard from the man. Action plus action equal massive action. Massive action equal massive results.
That's right. Let's get it.
Yeah, let's get it, Manny. Hey, thank you so much for your time, man. We lost you again, dude. Thank you so much for your time, Manny. For those of you who are new to the channel, you're interested in learning about wholesaling houses, smash the subscribe button. That's all I'm going to share with you in my channel is how to wholesale and how you can actually do it virtually, which means you don't have to see the seller, the buyer, or the property. All can be done virtually. So if that's something you're interested in, smash the subscribe button. And if you do enjoy this interview with Manny, please show our guest some love. Smash the thumbs up for me. And for those of you who haven't followed me on Instagram, follow me on IG at Khang, KHANG.WTM. On there, I'm going to share with you guys kind of my mentor journey. Recently, I took on my first student. I'm super pumped, super excited about it. I think we lost you, Manny. We lost Manny. I think he got a call or something like that. But follow me on Instagram. I'm just going to share with you guys kind of my journey, my mentoring journey, how everything is going to go from start to finish. This is, I think we came in, starting the journey, the mentor journey on Friday. So today's Tuesday, 4 or 5 days ago. So if you guys want to follow my journey, go to Instagram and follow me at Khang.WTM. And thank you so much for you guys' time. Manny, are you there, man? I think Manny's gone. So I'm gonna end this without Manny then. You guys, thank you so much. Take care. Have a wonderful rest of your day, you guys. And remember, don't give up. Keep pushing. Keep going. Take actions. Don't let overload information paralyze you. Don't let analyze paralyze you. All right. Take care, you guys. Have a great rest of your day. I think Manny's out.